Well, the only condominium type that has gone against that trend is the 3-bedroom unit. In today's video, yet another edition of the weekly condo market update where I go through the latest numbers, trends, and facts you should know about the Toronto/GTA condo market. Let's get to it. Hello everyone, this is Sam from SaberiSixRealEstate and Remax Realtron Realty, back with another video for you guys here today. As always, you can find my contact information in the description box with regards to my Gmail, my Instagram, and my office. Feel free to go and find me on Instagram, get in touch with me via my contact info for my office and my Gmail in the description. If you have any further questions about topics covered in this video or any other topics, or if you just have any general inquiries with regards to the Toronto/GTA real estate market. Lastly, as always, a support in terms of a like and a subscription is much appreciated, but as I always say, you're not obliged to do so whatsoever. Feel free not to do any of that. Anyways, let's get on with the point of today's video, which is another weekly condo market update. But before we do, there's a poll up on my channel where I ask the viewers of this channel what type of content you want to see more of. I make 4 basic types of content, videos of tours, fact-based and number-based videos like this, and other types of videos. So let me know what types of content you want to see more of. And I have 4 options on my poll, and you can find the poll in the community tab on my YouTube channel. So go please vote so I know what you want more of. So anyways, enough of all that. Let's get to the point of today's video, which is the weekly condo market update. Now we're going to break down this weekly condo market update into 3 parts, 3 main themes I want to discover this week. Number 1, we're going to discuss what sellers should do in the condo market so far. I'm recording this July 1st of 2021. So given everything we know so far about the market within the last couple of months, what sellers should do. Number 2, I'm going to discuss the latest trend of condominiums that were just completed, meaning they were bought at pre-construction phase and now they have been constructed, yet they have not been registered with the city, so they still are technically on an assignment basis. Thus, legally, it has not been incorporated as a condominium, and why these buildings are having a very hard time selling units and what this means for sellers and buyers. And number 3, we're going to discuss the fact that the 3-bedroom condominium type is one of the only condominium types on the market right now that is actually seeing an improvement in prices, and it has not stagnated due to the summer market and all the other various facts that I've discussed in the past with regards to the new mortgage stress tests and the returning hot rental market. And that's exactly where we're going to start. The 3-bedroom condo units, the prices have actually stood up the best when we compare it to 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom, and all other types of condo units, because we have seen en masse a stagnation of condo prices. Previously, in previous videos, I covered the fact that condo prices have dipped. In the previous edition of this weekly condo market update, I actually did state that it's a good time to be a condo buyer, because right now you are dealing with a more buyer-friendly market. And this is from different angles when we compare the prices in Toronto, downtown Toronto, to the previous month. So the month preceding the current month, which at that time was June. Now we're in July, obviously, but even if you're comparing June prices to June prices the year before, every metric really pointed towards the direction that although it is not a full buyer's market, it is a far more buyer-friendly market. And if you are interested in buying a condominium, it would be best for you to buy in the months of June, July, and August, where you can get the most for your money and probably cheaper per square foot. According to a study done by Strata, condominiums of this type, 3-bedroom, in the city of Toronto have gone up 30% since the month of March. Now, once again, March into April, condo prices for all types were still increasing, yet they were increasing at a slower rate. And that's when we saw towards the end of April, the last 2 weeks of April, condo prices start to decline and stagnate. Well, since the start of March to this point, July, in the city of Toronto, 3-bedroom condominium units have gone up 30% from $700,000 to $925,000 in terms of prices, which by far outpaces any other type. Now, why is this the case? Well, there's a lot of conjecture and assumptions as to why this is the case. My personal opinion and point of analysis here is that a lot of people who are priced out of the freehold market, whether it be in the city of Toronto or in York region or in Mississauga or in Durham, really pretty much the GTA, people who are priced out of the single family market, once again, detached, semi-detached, townhome, all alike, are moving towards condos. And this shift did happen in March and April. Even this shift is happening even on a micro basis, where within the condos, people are now buying 3-bedroom condos because those are the most spacious. And yes, they're coughing up a little bit more money, but they're getting as much space as they can get, which is in the first place what they were seeking anyways with detached, semi-detached, and townhome properties. Well, they can no longer get that because they're priced out of that market. They've gone to the condo market, and the best they can do space-wise is, as I said, 3-bedroom. Now, this is just one point of analysis here. There's other contributing factors that can also lead to people going towards 3-bedroom condominiums. But at the end of the day, I think it's pretty simple. People can no longer buy detached, semi-detached, freehold properties. They're priced out. They're most likely coming towards condominium townhomes that are 3-bedroom or condominium apartments that are 3 bedrooms. Now, these 3-bedroom condominium apartments and townhomes are most likely not really south, because if you're looking at a 3-bedroom condominium in the south part of Toronto, so we're really discussing anything south of Eglinton, you might as well buy a townhome that's freehold further out in Durham, further out in north of, let's say, Richmond Hill. At that point, everything else being equal, obviously, proximity to work, lifestyle, everything else being equal, it's not really worth your while to buy a 3-bedroom downtown Toronto condo, because it's going to cost you same or more as to buy a semi-detached even in certain parts of West Toronto, East Toronto, right? Moving on, as I said, the second thing we're going to discuss in terms of the condo market, the trend of pre-construction condominiums being completed now at a assignment basis. So they're not completed in terms of the legal aspect of a condominium. They haven't been incorporated as a condominium corporation yet, meaning the builder still owns all the units, and the people who have purchased the condominium units as at the pre-con level are technically renting from the builder until it is finished and closed. So basically, condominium buildings that have not closed yet with the city, these condominiums are having a hard time assigning and selling units. But pretty much for our purposes in this video, assigning and selling are the same. Obviously, they're not the same. I have an entire different video explaining what an assignment is versus a sale. It's kind of a complicated thing to understand, so go watch that video. Point here is, for the purposes of this explanation, let's say assignments and sales are the same exact thing. So to break it down in simpler terms, imagine you are condo buyer number 1. You decide to buy a pre-construction condo that's going to be completed in 4 years. Now, obviously, you do your due diligence, you pay your deposit, structured deposit, you do everything, you buy a condominium unit at the pre-con level. 4 years later, right now you have the keys to your unit. The condominium as a structure has been constructed. It is ready for you to move in. Still, obviously, some finishings are missing, but it's brand new. You're moving in, you have your furniture there, you're living out of it. Yet it is still not legally a condominium corporation. It has not closed. So you have taken occupancy of your unit, but you have not closed your unit. That's usually a 3 to 6 to 7 month period, a buffer period. Well, in this buffer period, a lot of people still try to sell their unit through assignment. Once again, it's just a sale for the purpose of this explanation. So a lot of owners of these condominium units are having a very hard time selling, and no units are selling in these brand new buildings. So out of the box condominium buildings are having a hard time selling any units. I actually visited with a potential seller 2 weeks ago. I actually did research and I found other condominium projects that are fresh out the box, that haven't closed yet, but the occupancy has occurred. And all these buildings are having a hard time selling their units. So there has been multiple listings for sale in one of these buildings. Nothing has sold. It's either been terminated, it's been expired, or it's been suspended. So what does this mean? Well, if you are a potential condominium buyer, this is a good opportunity for you to jump in, because there's a lot of people trying to offload their inventory, and they're having a very hard time offloading their inventory in this intermediary period, which is pretty much, once again, a buffer before it closes. So if you are opportunistic, especially opportunistic investor, this is a good time for you to seek out one of these buildings that has just been completed, that has a lot of people trying to sell their units before it closes as assignments, and they are all failing. Thus, there is ample inventory. You are in a good position to take advantage and leverage the sellers against one another for you to be able to buy something at a better price than you would have otherwise once everything closes and everyone comes onto the market. Now, that's going to be a whole entire issue in of itself. Similarly, if you're the seller, and this actually leads us to the last part of this condo weekly market update for the Toronto condo market and the GTA condo market. If you are a seller of a condo, especially in this case, but generally speaking of any type of condo, whether you've owned your condo for 15 years, 2 years, if your condo is a 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom, if it's a townhome condominium, which is a little bit different. Point here is condo sellers right now are better off waiting until the fall market. In my previous condo weekly market update, I said condo buyers are better off buying now. Well, the converse of that, logically speaking, because if condo buyers are better off buying right now, it's a more advantageous market for them. Obviously, through implication, basic common sense dictates, well, on the flip side, sellers are better off not selling now in a buyer advantageous market and waiting until the fall and winter market in order to sell, because that is where prices, I predict, will go up more for sellers than it is the case now. So whether you're dealing with this new condo buildings right out the box at an assignment phase that hasn't closed yet, or you have a resale condominium that you've lived in for 15 years in downtown Toronto that's 20 years old, that's 5 years old, whatever the case is, unless you have no choice but to sell because you need the funds, you need the proceeds of sale, family issues, whatever the case is. Everything else being equal, you're most likely better off waiting until fall, winter to sell. Anyways, that's Sam with SaberiSixRealEstate and Remax Realtron Realty Inc. As always, you can find my contact information in the description box with regards to my Gmail, my Instagram, and my office. Feel free to get in touch with me with any questions you may have with regards to the Toronto/GTA real estate market. Lastly, feel free to subscribe, comment, rate, and review. Your support in that regard is always appreciated, but you're not obliged to do so. And as I always say, thank you for watching, stay tuned, and stay safe. Thank you.